Hello, my name is Tanya Bankston. My clients refer to me as Coach T. Bankston. I am the change doula. Let me just share with you for a moment what a doula is, and specifically what a change doula is. A doula is a professional birth attendant. Doulas have existed for hundreds of years. And not to be confused with a midwife, a doula is specifically responsible and concerned with the comfort of the woman during labor, delivery, and shortly after birth. So I started training as a doula in early 2002. I trained at a local hospital here in the Detroit area. And then the hospital ended up going out of business, and that ended my career as a doula. But my decision to become the change doula actually was the result of me changing my life. To put it in a nice way, my life was a hot mess. And that's the nicest way that I can put it. Um, Growing up, I grew up in a lot of dysfunctionalism, and I made some pretty bad choices that continued the cycle of dysfunctionalism in my life. So, as the change doula, I became my first client. I recognized that I was responsible for the life that I was currently living at that time. And in order to make a change, I had to change some things. And that's what I did. And don't get me wrong, the change process was about 20 years in the process before I looked up and actually realized, wow, my life has changed. So, as the change doula, what I do is I help professional women deal with their past trauma and their present pain as they take ownership of their voice, their purpose, and their passion, all while remaining authentic and transparent. I help them give birth to their dreams, their goals, and their vision, one gentle push at a time. So you may have noticed that this video is entitled The Art of Reinvention Sister Healing Empowerment Group. Ooh, that's a mouthful. But this particular group is based on my book, and you can see it behind me, The Art of Reinvention, and it's based on the R15 method that I designed. The R15 method is a group of words, concepts, belief systems that actually help me to transform and translate my life from that hot mess to where it is now. So, if I did mention, I am a licensed mental health therapist, I am a life coach, and I am a reinvention strategist. I help women to redesign their life intentionally, on purpose. Their dreams, their goals, their visions become their passion, and I help them to execute. So, why the Sister Healing Circle? The Sister Healing Circle is an 8-week process where women come together for 8 weeks to deal with past trauma and present pain. Now, what does that look like? Because you might say, well, Coach T, Tanya, I don't have any past trauma. I grew up in a lifestyle, in a family. I didn't have dysfunction. I had two parents. You know, my parents didn't fight. Nobody was an alcoholic. I didn't have any of that. And that's perfectly fine. That's good. That's good. That's just not my story. And through the years with having conversations with women all across the country, I found out that that's not a lot of women's story, right? A lot of women have deeper emotional memories and paradigms and things that have happened to them that they feel guilty about. They feel ashamed. They want to keep it hidden. Even some of these things keep women from progressing and actually achieving their greatest level because they're always living in fear that that shame, that guilt from my past might creep up and then change everything. So this is a circle that's specific to the woman who is ready to do the emotional, deeper mental and emotional health, hard work. And let's face it, doing hard work is an art. It takes a special art form to get from that space where I'm hurting today. First, I have to realize what the pain is. Then, once I realize that, I have to be willing to take the mask off, to be authentic, to be transparent, to share it openly, or at least in this Facebook group, in this private Facebook group. So it's a private Facebook group. It's designed for women who are examining their life and their purpose. It's for women who've experienced past trauma and present pain. It's for women who are not afraid to vocalize and understand past trauma and present pain. It's for women who are not afraid to show up for themselves. It's for women who are nurturers and providers of care for other people, but they seem to somehow fall short when it comes to caring for themselves or showing up for themselves. It's for women who, like me, are not afraid to invest in themselves, but sometimes they fall short of making the investment and executing on that investment. Or women who invest in certification, workshop, certification, education, workshop, training, because somewhere deep inside, they don't feel qualified. This healing circle is for women who have achieved their goals, women who are educated, women who society said, if you do this, 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 if you meet this requirement, then you will have success. And yet she met those qualifications. She met those requirements, but still she feels like something's missing. Something's missing. Or it's for that woman who put off having a family, having children, getting married. Now she's like me, she's in her 50s and she's still single. And she's past that childbearing age. And she thinks, what's next? What do I do now? How do I define myself? I am not as fulfilled in this career as I once was. It's for women who look to own their own voice. I mean, have you ever experienced being in the boardroom, being at the table with other executives, and you had the idea, you had that paradigm shifting thought, and either you shared it one and it was overshadowed by something else in the room, or you shared it and somebody else took credit for it. Wow. This particular healing circle is for the woman who wants to take ownership of her voice. It's for the woman who's searching for greater meaning in her life. It's for the woman who devours, like me, devours self-help books, devours leadership books, devours books that help her to define who she is as a woman of authority and power, and feel good about it, and not be concerned constantly with being called the B word. You know that word. I won't say it, but you know. Or somebody saying, ooh wee, she would be okay if she just had a husband. She needs to be with a man. But no, she's okay with who she is. But she just feels like she needs somebody else to validate her. This group is for that woman. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the group. So the group will meet for 8 weeks. Like I said, it's through a private Facebook group. We're going to talk about those difficult subjects that women don't necessarily like to talk about. The hard conversations that are needed to transform you and to move you forward. We are going to do it in a safe, healing environment, right? Now, there is a cost to this. The cost is $600 for the 8 weeks. And let me share with you what happens in that 8 weeks. You get to be involved with other powerful women. We're talking about professional, powerful women who have achieved a great deal of success already. So what I need you to do is, if this sounds like you, if you're that woman who is now an empty nester and you think, what do I do with my life now? I've been a mom. I don't know what I should be doing. I don't understand all of these feelings that I'm having. Or that woman who is struggling because she's believed God for her mate. She's fasted, she's prayed, she's done all the right things, and yet she still feels inadequate because she's still single. Or it's for that woman who said, these vows that I've taken with my mate, I took serious, but he's violated those vows. And he didn't do it just once. He betrayed me more than once. What do I do now? How do I heal? How do I move forward? This group is for those women who are goal orientated, who have a voice, who have power, who have position, but they don't have passion, or they don't have direction. Let me tell you a brief story, something that actually happened to me when I was younger, and it is of a sensitive nature. So hopefully what I say doesn't trigger anybody, but I just want you to know one of the situations that I healed from. I was in a situation where I was molested. It's a story of molestation. And the person who molested me was hard of hearing. He was deaf. And he molested me. I went to immediately share it with an adult and say, hey, this happened to me. You know, immediately, I didn't even think about it. And the person who molested me, excuse me, I guess I'm getting triggered a little bit, but the person who molested me, his voice, although he could not speak, his voice, his moanings, his groanings, Um, they were louder than my words. Let that marinate for a minute. What he was saying with inaudible words overshadowed, they were louder than my words saying, hey, he violated me. I need to be protected. It's unfortunate, but as women, in most cases, we're seen as second class, and our voice, we have to go through leaps and bounds to have our voice heard and to have our voice taken serious. Is this a feminist group? No. But this is a group for women who have experienced past pain, past trauma, and current pain. So if any of these situations or scenario resonate in your spirit, they sound like something that you've experienced or you've gone through, or you carry the pain, the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, then all I need you to do is one, send me an email. Send me an email to coachtbankston@gmail.com. coachtbankston@gmail.com. In the subject line, include the art of reinvention, sister healing empowerment circle. Okay. And then share with me why you believe you should be a part of this circle. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to respond. I'll provide you with more of the details. The circle is going to start in January the 24th, and we'll meet once a week. As I stated, the cost is $600. And you might say, well, I have insurance. Does my insurance cover this? No, your insurance does not cover it because it's not counseling, it's group coaching in a transformational, safe environment. I am a limited license mental therapist. So I will provide the safety of the group to make sure that each woman is getting the necessary information she needs to help move her forward. Now, some other, I don't want to tell you all of the goodies, but I am super, super excited about it. It has been a long time coming. I am going to share with you my R15 secrets. And it's something that I can't even take full credit for it, honestly, because R15 are the 15 words that the Holy Spirit gave to me back in 2008. 2008. Yeah, that's right. 2008. And at first I had all these words, reframe, refocus, reinvention. It's like I said, it's 15. I'm not going to go through all 15 of them right now, but they all came to me in my spirit. And I didn't know at that time what they meant. I didn't know how they related to each other. I didn't understand how they fit together. So it took me from 2008 until now to say, aha, this is it. And I mean, even it took my best friend to help me to understand some of the process that I went through, because sometimes when you're in it, you know how they say you can't see the forest for the trees. It is so true. But once you come out on the other side of that pain and you had an intentional strategic plan to help you get there, transformation is just something that I cannot even express to you how wonderful it is to be blessed to say, you know what? Yes, I was a hot mess. Yes, I was. But today I make the decision to do things differently. So I am going to hop off here. Um, you can see behind me the book, The Art of Reinvention. If you haven't gotten it, make sure when you send that email that you say, yes, I'm interested in the art of reinvention, because actually the Sister Healing Circle is going to be taught from that book. So you really needed to follow through. But it will be a awesome, awesome, life-changing, transformational experience. And I'm not saying that because I created the program. I'm saying it because I was my first client. So this is Tanya Bankston, the Change Doula, inviting you to aim high, take flight, come soar with me. I am moving up, I am moving on, and I am not bound by the trauma from my past, nor do I choose to be bound by any pain that develops in my present. I love you. Until next time, be blessed.